So we've now reached card number 14 of the Major Arcana, the Temperance card. And if I was to do what I've done with previous cards, which is to just bring the essence of the card, the meaning of the card, into just a few words, I would say this card represents patience, it represents moderation, but the most important word for this card, in my opinion, is balance. That's really what this card represents. Now, if we just look at the Rider-Waite card, and if you remember previously I mentioned that the Archangels are represented within the Major Arcana, and I believe we've previously had Raphael. We now have Michael. That's who is in this card. And one of the things about balance and moderation and patience is that these things aren't particularly exciting, but they are incredibly powerful things to have. And one of the ways that this power is being shown and represented in the card is that the wings of Michael don't even fit onto the card. They don't fit into the image. They're so big and powerful. And if we look at what he's doing, on first glance you may think that he's pouring the water down into the bottom cup, but actually what he's doing is pouring the water from the bottom cup up into the top cup. And what this is showing is that once you've mastered this moderation, this balance within your life, that what you are able to do will appear as miraculous. And actually it's just you being able to have that balance, being able to master and work with the elements around you to manipulate reality into the way that you want it to be, or more in line with what you want it to be. Now, if we just look at the Thoth card, and the imagery is obviously just it is a little bit different, but there is something interesting on this card that I just want to highlight, and that is the white lion and the red eagle. Now, what this is representing, again, it all comes back to balance, but in the sort of traditions of alchemy, sulfur and mercury are two of the basic ingredients, but when you merge them together correctly, you can turn them into gold. And this is really symbolic of the opposing, the opposites coming together to bring balance. So king, queen, red, white, sun, moon, fire, water, male, female, dry, wet, all of these things are in opposition, but when brought together correctly, bring harmony and balance. Now, just about the card itself and how this represents where you are on the journey, before you reach this stage, you weren't balanced. You can't have been balanced. You might have been becoming more and more adept at magic, more in tune with yourself, more aligned with your journey. But you would go through phases of, say, you would focus on magic for a week. That would be all that you would focus on. It would be everything that you think of, every bit of energy goes into it. But then you would become obsessed with something else for a little while. Something else would catch your eye or get your attention, whether it's work or something music related or relationship related, but something else would pull you away. And you would have that swing that I've mentioned many times before of inward, outward. And what I mean by that is something internal. So you go through a stage of magic, but then something from the outside world takes all of that focus, that obsession. And when you're doing that, you're not in balance. So when somebody is really balanced, they don't need to swing. They don't become obsessed with things. They just have part of their daily routine. It's quiet, it's patient, but it's very, very powerful. And that's really the essence of what this card is showing and where you would be on your journey. And once someone actually reaches this point, people around you will notice. As Aleister Crowley says, let success be thy proof. And as I say, once you reach this point, people won't just notice, but they will feel that difference. They will feel almost inspired by you. They'll be confused, like, why are you so successful? Why does everything work for you? Why are you so calm when I'm freaking out about this and you're completely calm, and then it turns out to be completely fine? How are you at this point? You're at this point because you've gone through the journey to this point, and you've now brought this quiet, calm, balanced energy into your life. Now, one other aspect just to bring into it as well is that the practice side, the magical practice side, is something that is just naturally part of your daily life now. It isn't something that needs, large amounts of ceremony, and you don't need to be visible. You don't need to make people aware of what you do. However you do it, you get up, you do some stretches, have a coffee, and do your meditation work in the morning, and then get on with your day, and then do whatever you're working on during the evening, possibly, something like that, where it's just part of your routine, and it's another further step from the outside influence that is holding you back. As I've mentioned before in previous cards, conversations that don't go anywhere, experiences that don't really go anywhere, doing things for the sake of doing them. You're not involved in that aspect of life really anymore. Everything that you do is for a higher purpose, to nourish you, to help you on your journey, to bring knowledge and experience. So that is the Temperance card, and I hope that makes sense. And if any of you are close to this part of your journey, I hope that you enjoy it, because it's a very magical period to be in. And join me next time when we'll look at the next card, which is the Devil.